Awesome.
Okay, welcome.
Nice to be here.
How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
And you?
I'm good.
Good stuff.
I'm going to introduce you, give you a shout out so people know a little bit more about you, and then maybe you can fill in the gaps that I miss.
Of course.
So we have here a lifelong enthusiast of video games, makes sense working at Kwalee, design, women's football, making people laugh, and social equality. Currently working as part of the PC and console publishing team as a junior publishing scout, a Brit School graduate, youth ambassador, volunteer, photographer, artist, scout. The list goes on. Did I miss anything?
I have a lot of hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to dive into a few of them today.
Cool.
As
Brilliant.
I've sort of prepped you before. Now, I like to start these with finding out about your past in terms of gaming.
Yeah, of course.
All the way back, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So let's go with your first ever console.
First ever console. I guess you could say it was my really dingy old PC computer.
Okay.
And then after that, it was the DS.
The DS. And what were you playing on the DS?
I was playing Pokemon Pearl at the time.
Oh.
It's doing more berry growing than actual Pokemon ranching, though.
So I was part of the age of yellow, red, and blue, I believe.
Yeah.
So how long after was Pearl? Do you know?
Oh, gosh.
You're going to make me feel old.
I don't know. I'm
Quite
afraid.
a while.
I think yellow was like Game Boy Color.
Yeah, Game Boy Color, I remember. Yes, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, we could only really afford a console when we got to DS. I missed out on like Game Boy Color and things like that. Yeah.
I think that is where I started with Game Boy Color, but DS, I never really... I think at the time DS came out when PSP was around, things like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I sort of played. So
I also own a pink PSP, which is my cousin's who gave it to me. And I was like, yeah, sure.
That's got to be limited edition at this
it's
point.
limited edition for sure.
So you were playing the Pearl on the DS. Now, what age roughly were you when playing this?
It's around when I was 10. Yeah, I think 10.
Okay, when you were about 10. Yeah. Then moving on to your teenage years and in schools, were you influenced by people around you playing stuff, or was it more at home you were enjoying different things?
Actually, I would say the first game that really sort of blew my mind was Curse of the Monkey Island, and that was like a gift from my dad's colleague's fiance. It's long-winded.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they gave it to me, and I was just quite like blown out of the water by it. Before then, I had only really played Flash games or anything like that, and it was the first time I was like, whoa, okay. Like, I really got into games. And then I got my DS, I got really into Nintendo, and I started buying Nintendo official magazine.
Okay.
Like, I actually have a few like fan art and things like that I submitted and things onto the magazine. Like cool. O&M it was called at the time. Yeah. So that's when I really sort of got into gaming. I started reading like a lot about games. Like Iwata was doing interviews as well. So like I was a big Nintendo fan. I still am. Yeah. Like back in the day. It's just not the same since he's passed, I would say. Yeah, we all miss him.
We do.
But yeah, like that kind of stuff really got me into it. Like reading the interviews about game devs and stuff. I thought, I really want to do this as a career. Yeah. That would be my dream. And here I am.
And here you are. And we're very lucky to have you, of course.
Thank you.
So 10-ish, 11, moving on into teenage years, you were at the Brit School, right?
Yes.
Now, I know Brit School from people like Adele, Jessie J.
Yeah.
So what did you do there?
So I was one of the first people to do a new course called Interactive Media.
Okay.
I think now it's called Digital Design. Okay. But basically it was around graphic design, games design, 3D animation, all sorts of things relating to anything digital. But it was still creative. And it was really new. And I found out about it reading a bus advert. And it was only a 20-minute walk from my house. So I was like, perfect. I'm definitely going there. I remember my parents looking at the school and be like, oh, this is a bit too artsy for Danwen. Okay. But, I went there regardless.
Yeah, and it seems like you enjoyed it. Yeah, you loved it?
For sure. That's 2 years.
So 2 years, that was then 16 to 18?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And before that, were you at an all-girls school, is that correct?
Yes, it's called Westwood.
Yeah.
Girls' College, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, and how did you find that, being there?
Yeah, it was good. I would say, like, I did like quite a variety of subjects at school. Like I really liked history, drama, and things like that. I was always really into like learning, which obviously made the teachers happy.
Yeah, of course.
But no, I enjoyed it there.
Okay.
It was very different from Brit in the sense that Brit was more like a creative school, and it was more about how to bring out the best of people's creativity, and it wasn't really about like following strict rules so much, like unless you weren't doing the work or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was a different experience, but I enjoyed both. I just like learning.
So you went from, of course. And you went from that school, Brit school, and then you went to Newcastle University.
Yes.
Correct?
I went up north.
Went up north. Was it, did it rain all the time?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
It was just very cold all the time.
Okay, very cold. Well, I'll tell you, I lived in Manchester for a while, and it rained every single day.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yes, every single day. So at Newcastle, you did a Bachelor's of Science in game engineering.
Yeah.
Correct. And how did you find that then, from going maybe a more stricter school to this creative school, then over to game engineering? How was that jump between the different?
Yeah, it was quite challenging, I would say, at first, but I really wanted to be quite well-rounded in my knowledge, which is why I decided. It's not necessarily because I didn't enjoy the creative side. I loved it, but I just thought I wanted to start my own studio. I wanted to know everything there is about games. I thought it would be good to have all that knowledge.
Yeah.
That's why I went for games engineering specifically.
Okay.
I think in the end, it wasn't for me because I think I missed the creative side, and I think I missed the people side of things. But I absolutely, like, the things I learned at uni was very useful.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, in terms of just knowing how much work goes into game engines, how much work goes into actually programming and deving the game, and I have awful lot more respect for the back-end programmers and like engine developers more than I ever did before going to uni, that's for sure.
And off the back of that, I would say that's a tip for most careers, right?
Yes,
See, myself coming from acting, it was good to know about the lighting and the design and everything behind the scenes
for sure.
and being on camera. And as you say, it's correct, it makes you more well-rounded.
Exactly.
So I suppose that is a tip for people coming into the industry.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing like wrong you can learn. Like, something you might discover isn't your strong point, but the knowledge itself can never be bad. It can never hinder you in that sense.
Awesome. So Newcastle, I read as well that you did a lot of volunteering.
Yeah.
Youth Ambassador, Prince's Trust, and a couple of other things that I read you volunteered with, and we'll get onto the football in a minute. Cool. How did you get started first with Youth Ambassador? So
the Princess Trust, I did a team program with Newcastle United, and that was like in conjunction with Princess Trust. They teamed up with them to do that, and it was like an incredible program to sort of build up teamwork skills and such, and confidence. They were very, very lovely, and like we did things like organize local football tournaments and trying to sort of create this garden for the local community as well. It was really, really lovely. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And now let's move on to some of the more football related things. Women's Euros 2022.
Yes,
this year.
It was amazing.
Tell me about it.
So I was at Wembley. I thought, if I'm going to volunteer, go for the big one, the final.
Yeah.
And I somehow had an inkling that England would be there at the final. But they gone and won it. So I was like, wow, this is wild.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time when I was helping out, like, because we had to leave 15 minutes early. So I missed the last goal, but you could just hear everybody cheering at the stairway. And I was like, I think this is it. And it just felt really surreal afterwards. Yeah. And just before we were wrapping up, I remember turning behind me and seeing one of the players that used to play on Team GB, Anita Asante. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need an autograph immediately now. Because that was like, so my first ever women's football match I watched was in 2012 in London Olympics.
Yep.
So like that sort of just closed it up for me. It's like, all those 10 years of being a fan ended like this. England winning the final, me getting that signature. And like volunteering there, it's amazing.
And you said a decade before sort of the first game you watched. What was it about that game in particular that got you in so much into women's football?
Well, I turned on the TV and it was just by chance. I wanted to just watch the Olympics. And then I just saw this amazing back heel from a player that women's football fans will know very well called Kim Little. She did a back pass and then Jill Scott scored one. A really good England player, and then I was just like, wow, what is this? I want to watch this. So I stayed, and then I've just been a fan ever since. It's just the amount of passion and skill, and honestly, the fans, the players, all of them. Well, I think what I love the most about the women's game is that it just feels like everything feels like a passion project. Everyone's there because they absolutely love the game. But yeah.
Oh, awesome. So we do this every show, and today is no exception. We have a quiz for you.
Oh, nice.
It's based on women's football.
Okay. Oh dear, now I have to like get things right.
Exactly. So we've got
prove myself.
Yeah. So we've got 10 questions.
Okay.
We'll go through them, and I want to see how good you are, how much you know. I have to admit, I didn't know a lot of them, but I'm learning. I'm learning a lot, so it's awesome. Right.
I hope I can answer them now.
Well, here we go. So
we'll find out.
Question 1. According to FIFA rankings, which women's international team were ranked the best in the world in 2022 with 2,109.9 points?
I believe it's still the USA.
It is indeed the USA. Can we have claps in the studio, everyone around? USA. Oh, dear. You're going to get it all right. Well, so we had Maddie on the podcast.
I see.
And she got 10 out of 10.
Oh, damn. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Okay. Question 2. Which team won the first ever Women's World Cup in 1991?
Oh, gosh. I should know this. Was it? I'm trying to think if it was the USA or Sweden. I'll go USA.
That is correct.
Okay.
It is USA.
I was like, damn, I knew like Sweden and Norway had won something in between the olden days.
And
but yeah.
It's awesome to see 1991 first ever World Cup. That was when I was born.
Oh, nice.
Now you know.
Yeah, I believe it was in China, yeah.
In China?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, question 3. Which club team does England player Nikita Paris represent?
Currently, do you mean?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Because I know she moved from Arsenal. She is now at...
Then maybe not currently. Oh dear, have I made a mistake here?
No worries. Like sometimes football transfer, they happen so quickly.
They happen so quickly. Okay, we're going to say that.
I think Nikita's still at Arsenal. But like
we're going to go with yes, she is.
I hope I'm right.
You are. It is Arsenal.
I'm sorry if I got it wrong, Nikita.
No.
I'm so sorry.
It'd be my fault if we go wrong.
I'm a Chelsea fan, that's why.
Oh dear.
Don't tell the Arsenal fans.
Is that going to make someone mad?
I like all women footballers, I swear.
Okay, but Chelsea the most.
Oh,
right.
Dear.
Question 4. Which French team did USA star Megan Rapinoe play for in 2012 to 2014?
I believe Rapinoe played for Lyon.
She did indeed. Yeah. Lyon. Awesome. So this next question, I feel like this is a gimme, but we're going to say anyway. Question 5. Which team won the Women's Super League in 2022?
It's Lyon this time. Last time it was Barcelona. I think it's Lyon this time.
Are you sure?
Oh, is it Barcelona? Oh, gosh. Oh, my.
How long ago was it? Do you remember when it was? 2022 Women's Super League.
Oh, sorry, Super League. Sorry, I was thinking of the Champions League. I've had a brain fart just then.
That's cool.
Super League, it was Chelsea, right?
It was Chelsea. Yeah. Got a bit nervous for you then.
Yeah, sorry.
Chelsea
I was like a Chelsea fan. Sorry, my brain was like Champions League. I was like, wait, how? No, Super League. Yeah.
Super League.
Yeah, the FA Super League. Yeah.
I mean,
sorry,
you're 5 for 5 at the minute. It's looking good.
Cool, yeah.
6. Which of the following grounds was not a venue for the UEFA Women's Euro 2022 in England? So which grounds was not a venue?
Are you going to list the grounds? Or?
No. So let me give you a clue then to make it a bit easier. I would say it's very close to home at some point in your life.
Yeah.
You were there for a while.
Okay. It's in London or Newcastle? Okay, so St. James Park
St. James Park, yes, exactly.
Of course, yeah.
I was sweating then because I was thinking St. James's Park is definitely in Newcastle, right?
Yes,
and it
is. Yes.
Wonderful, good.
Imagine if I had said Stadium of Light, I'd get murdered.
Yeah, wow.
By accident.
So, 6 out of 6.
Dear. Yeah.
Good job. Claps around the building here.
Thank you.
How many teams are in the Women's Super League?
Oh, gosh. Oh, I've never counted.
So I guess you've got to think through group stage into
Super League or Champions League. Just
Super League.
Check. I don't want to get it confused again like last time.
So the Super League, and maybe we'll have the countdown music playing.
Oh gosh.
While she's going through these, if you know at home, put it in the comments below. I want to know.
This is embarrassing. I should count. I'm going to like the match.
Yeah, you'll get it right
in December.
But if you know it, I want to know.
I'm gonna guess like 12 or 16. I know they're completely wildly
12
different.
or 16. Which one?
Oh, I'm just so bad. It's because I'm on the spot.
That's cool.
I'll say 12.
You are correct.
Oh my gosh.
12 it is.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, you got there.
I didn't even bother counting up to 12. I just counted to 10. I was like, okay, I think it's 12.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 8. What is the nickname of American team Gotham FC?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the nickname?
Oh, nickname for Gotham FC. Oh, jeez. See, I like OL Reign, and I've always supported Seattle Reign when they were called that. So Gotham's quite a recent team. You should ask me what's my favorite player from Gotham.
No, absolutely not.
Naho Kawasumi or something. But you asked me this question.
Okay,
the Gotham fans are not going to like me after this.
So let me give you a clue.
Give me a clue. It's not to do with Batman, is it? Batwoman?
No, it's not. But this is sometimes a representation of a group in schools, I would say. But use the name Gotham FC.
It's something to do with schools.
So a group of people within a school sometimes can be referred to the...
and it has the name Gotham in it. So
sort of.
Probably begins with G. It's not girls, is it? Or like...
No. I'm going to give you this one.
Okay, give me this
one.
The
Goths.
Oh,
you had that in school, right? There were the Goths.
Oh,
maybe, okay. Maybe just me. Maybe I was.
No, every time I hear the word Gotham, I just think Batman instantly.
I mean,
I can't
yes,
help it.
that makes sense.
And I just wasn't thinking Goth, even though Batman is like the biggest Goth.
That's true, he is.
Oh, dear.
So a long time ago, I used to be a clown, and I dressed up like Batman. But they asked me to. So I was in the full suit, and I remember walking in and, doing the, hey, I'm Batman. And everyone was terrified.
Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. Everyone was terrified. Dear. And, what are you supposed to do? You're Batman. Anyway, okay, question 9. What team beat Manchester City 3-2 in extra time to win the 2022 Women's FA Cup? So again, which team beat Manchester City 3-2 in extra time to win the 2022 Women's FA Cup?
This year, right?
This year.
It's Chelsea, right? I swear that we won everything. Or maybe I'm just arrogant.
Go with your instinct, I'd say. Chelsea, yes. It's okay to be arrogant when you win everything, right? No, that was nice. Dear. Good job.
Yeah.
And then question 10. Which England player broke Kelly Smith's goal-scoring record with a hat-trick against Latvia in November 2022?
Broke Kelly Smith's record. Damn, I should know
with a hat
this.
Trick.
I should know this.
November 2021.
Was it Beth Mead? If I get this wrong, I'd be like, damn, Danwen.
I feel bad now. It was Ellen White.
Oh, Ellen White. Yes, of course, Ellen White. Sorry,
no, but
Ellen.
you did so well.
I apologize, Ellen.
8 out of 10. I'm going to give you a round of applause.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Thank you. Sorry, yes, of course it was Ellen.
But thank you for joining in with the game. I do appreciate it. Okay, so
worries.
You obviously know a lot about women's football. Mm-hmm. And again, this was...
I still got 2 wrong. Prize.
Maybe next time we get you on.
Next time.
You'll get 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So, a hobby of yours, women's football, and you can tell you're very, very into it there. Mm. Of course, you also do photography and design.
Yes.
Now, we're going to go over to your design portfolio. And I didn't know you had one of these.
Thank you.
Just over here, we can see your design portfolio. Now, I see a style here, this pixel art sort of style as we go through. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about why. What made you want to go down this route of sort of pixel art design?
I guess like the love of games, like retro games and things like that, and a lot of indie titles. They have really nice pixel art, and I realized I really enjoy that, like just making, I guess like playing around with the colors and having that control that pixel art allows you, and also like I suppose the creativity within that control.
Okay.
Like you're restricted to little dots, but so you have to somehow make it stand out.
Yeah.
Despite having only little dots to play with. I really enjoy that aspect.
And this is amazing. You go through so many different sort of styles here within the pixel art, and this is fantastic.
Thank you.
I did spend quite a lot of time going through here, looking at all of these. I think they're amazing.
Thank you.
So why do you see this more as a hobby or potentially something that you could bring to your job as a scout?
Yeah, for sure. I would love to do some designs as well. I think I didn't decide to go down like a full-on design job, mostly because like I have a neck issue. So it is best, I felt like graphic design might be too many long hours in front of a screen. I wanted to do something that was also very people-facing.
Yep.
And scouting really allows me to do that, like to really chat and get to know developers and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you love cats? Is that right to say?
So this is the Computing and Technology Society's logo. So we set up the society. Well, the society was set up in my first year of uni, and I was friends with some people on the committee. And I just asked, "Do you want me to make a logo? I have an idea," and they loved it.
Yeah. So
I ended up being the design officer.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah. So logo design, pixel art, very well. And then we've got the swords here.
Yeah. It's vector. Yeah.
This is art. Vector art here is wonderful.
Thank you.
Really good job. Yeah, this is cool. So as well as design, obviously very proficient, which is awesome to see. You also enjoy photography.
Yes.
Now, I did have a look through your photography portfolio.
Thank you.
Now, I have a question about some of these here.
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
You have a lot of wildlife and animals.
Yes.
What were what's your main passion? Is it shooting nature, wildlife, people? What angle do you like to shoot?
I just really like to sort of capture, I guess, the small things in life, and that I find is quite wonderful. Like, even though it's just around you. Like, most of these I took during the pandemic, so I wasn't like traveling a lot at the time. So I was like limited in terms of places I could go and take pictures.
Yeah.
Like it was mostly local parks or like just with one friend or like two friends or whatnot. And I just wanted to capture the small things that I felt, I guess, like, small beauties, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Even like it's just around us, that we don't have to go on holiday to see them.
Yeah,
so to
things are everywhere. Right?
Exactly.
And you are a certified digital photographer. Is that correct? Did you get a certification?
I did do an online
create professional portfolios.
Yeah, with Open University. Yeah. I was during the pandemic as well.
During the pandemic. So did you, speaking very briefly on the pandemic, did you sort of take that as an opportunity to learn as well as observe?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you did your professional portfolio course through that. Photography, probably did a lot of design. Did you do bits of design and things in the time?
Yeah, I did a little bit of design, but a lot more photography because like of my neck issue, it was something I could do that wasn't just in front of a screen. I could get out there and go on walks and stuff and like really see the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Which sounds weird, like seeing the world finally when people are all locked inside.
Yeah, no.
But like
it's definitely a thing. We used to have an exercise in back in university where we do something called observe something beautiful, and every day we had to come in and say something we observed on the way to class that was beautiful, and it just made you look, as you did, at things in a different light.
For sure.
That's really cool. So
I think, definitely, it was very therapeutic to do photography, and I think that's why I got into it, and that's why you see a lot of wildlife pictures. Yeah, because I think that's the kind of stuff where it really helps to ground you. Yeah,
absolutely. One more thing before we start to close up here with a bit more about Kwalee and what you do. Yeah, I noticed something on IMDb. So you were in a film called Immersion. Can people see this? Is it out there?
It's a short film. I need to ask the person who wrote it, Harris, whether or not they have a link to it, or if it's been taken down.
Probably on Vimeo or something.
Yeah, it's on Vimeo. Okay. But like it was just a short film at uni with the Film Society, and I was a mook. I was rolling around in the mud a lot and hitting this guy that was way taller than me.
Okay, so
with fake sticks, of course. It wasn't real.
Right.
I didn't actually get kicked in the mud either. So if anyone do watch that film, I'm alive. evidently.
And you've got here MOOC. What's a MOOC?
A MOOC is like a grunt man. So we had to do auditions where they wanted some people to be the mooks, so there'd be these people that beat up the protagonists or whatnot. It was like a first person shot, and I just needed to go in and be scary, and apparently I was scary enough to be
get
on
the role.
So
sounds good to me.
Yeah, despite being a tiny person, I was intimidating enough. Yeah,
that's it. You beam bigger than you are.
Either that, or it's because I bought my Aikido weapons with me that day for demonstration.
Oh, so everyone was like,
the wooden bokken helped a lot.
That's awesome. And hopefully it is somewhere on the internet so we can see. Now, let's move lastly here to Kwalee. Mm-hmm. Now, you've been here, I'm going to guess, 4 months?
Yeah, just like 3 months now.
3 months.
3 months, I think. Or getting towards 4 months.
Getting towards 4. Wonderful. Yeah. And firstly, how have you enjoyed working with the team during that time?
Honestly, every day I wake up and think, this is so surreal. I can't believe I'm doing this job. You know, like just being able to liaison with developers, going to events, like discussing games with my team, looking at all these like amazing games and sometimes not so amazing ones, but it's always great to see. Like it's my passion, right? Games, and to like work in it in such a deep capacity is just amazing.
Yeah, I agree. The team is really great to work with. But let's talk maybe about the games.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe a small part of the process for you taking a game from testing through to us sort of signing it and then all that sort of thing briefly, if you want.
Yeah, I can take you through some of the processes. So how we do things is initially the scouts would try and go on the internet to find good games or go to events and talk to developers and see what they're working on. And when we have that, we go through it as a team and see what gets through. And then once we look at it as a team and then play test it as a team, we then decide whether or not we want to show it to the rest of the department, whether it's good enough to go into the play session. And when that's sort of like all done and dusted, and then we get our sort of team to play it either from social media or marketing, etc., etc. And if they go, oh, this game is amazing and whatnot, we immediately go, okay, it's going through the next processes. And then we get production and marketing to do sort of a due diligence call with the developers to just go through questions and answers and things like that. And if all ends up well, we have like a green light meeting. And then at that point, we can help send out a contract potentially for the developers to sign, and then we discuss terms, etc. That's sort of like our processes in a nutshell. There's obviously a lot more sometimes that happens in between. But like a summary of it is that we want everyone to be really excited about the games we sign. So we want to make sure that everyone gets sort of their opinions heard. And that's something I really like about our processes.
Okay. Now, I want to put you on the spot real fast.
Okay.
Of the games we have announced, which is your favorite?
Am I allowed to say which one's my favorite?
Well, we'll say firstly, we like all of the games.
Yes, we love all of the games.
But for you and your preferences outside of work, what you play, what would you say for you?
In terms of my personal preferences, because I'm also really big and into cooking in my personal life, I would say Space Chef.
Okay.
Yeah, that I'm really looking forward to Space Chef. I'm playing it with another friend who likes cooking also. Like for sure.
Okay, Space Chef.
Yeah.
But again, we obviously...
But we love all the games.
We love all the games.
Love all of them.
And as you said, we do go through a process of we all play them and we have to all really enjoy them for them to go through.
For sure,
so we love all the games.
For sure. Please play all of them.
Yes, please play all of them. And as always, we'll have links to all of our games below. Do check them out. I want to thank you for coming on today. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys find out a little bit more of becoming a scout, or if you want to come into the games industry, there are many ways to do it. You took a different path to come in, and I think it's really cool to hear that.
And don't give up on your dreams.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
You never know.
Indeed, indeed. Now, I've asked this to everyone before they leave for the next person. If you would give me a question, you don't know who the next person is going to be, but if you give me a question that I could ask them, they won't know who it's come from.
Okay. And they can be completely random.
Completely random about anything.
Oh, gosh. What is your favorite video game food?
Favorite video game food?
Yeah.
I like that one.
It has to be a food item featured in the game.
So favorite video game food has to be featured in the game.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I
No
really
worries.
appreciate you being here.
No worries.
So remember, if you like videos like this, please hit the like button, subscribe so you get more of this content. We've got podcasts, game trailers, announcements, all sorts of fun types of videos, cooking videos coming up, lots and lots of things. So do hit that subscribe, and till next time.
Awesome.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.